Many travelers over 50 spend thousands of dollars on a cruise and still come home disappointed. Not because the cruise was bad, because it was the wrong cruise for them. Someone looking for peace and quiet can end up on a ship that's loud and crowded. Someone expecting elegance can end up on a ship that feels surprisingly casual. And that's where most people go wrong. They assume there's one best cruise line. There isn't. The best cruise line isn't about your age, it's about the kind of vacation you actually want. In this video, we'll break down 7 of the best cruise lines, who each one is really for, and help you find the one that's right for you. Let's get started. If your idea of a nightmare vacation involves checking your watch to make sure you don't miss your assigned dinner time, Norwegian Cruise Line might be exactly what you're looking for. Norwegian built its reputation around freestyle cruising, replacing many of the traditional rules with a much more flexible way to vacation. Instead of planning your day around assigned dining times or formal nights, you decide when you eat, where you eat, and how you spend your time on board. If vacation to you means not following someone else's schedule, that's exactly where Norwegian shines. Norwegian also stands out for solo travelers. Many of its ships feature purpose-built studio and solo staterooms designed for one guest, giving solo cruisers more options than they typically find on other mainstream cruise lines. Guests staying in these accommodations also have access to a private studio lounge, making it easier to meet other independent travelers without the pressure of organized singles events. The overall experience is relaxed, informal, and much more entertainment-focused than enrichment-focused. Norwegian sits comfortably in the mainstream market, making it appealing to travelers who want plenty happening on board without the traditions or formality of a more classic cruise line. Here's something many first-time Norwegian guests don't realize. The onboard atmosphere can change dramatically depending on the ship, itinerary, time of year, and even the sailing date. A short Caribbean cruise during school holidays can feel completely different from a longer itinerary to places like Canada and New England, or parts of Europe outside peak family travel periods. That's why choosing Norwegian isn't just about picking the brand, it's about picking the right sailing. 2 Norwegian cruises can feel like 2 completely different vacations. Norwegian's free at-sea packages can also add useful extras such as drinks and specialty dining, but don't assume everything is covered. Some benefits have limitations depending on your package, and onboard extras can add up quickly. So, compare the total vacation cost rather than focusing only on the advertised cruise fare. Book Norwegian if you value flexibility over tradition, enjoy entertainment-focused evenings, or want one of the strongest mainstream options for solo cruising. You may want to look elsewhere if you're hoping for a quieter, enrichment-focused experience with lectures, formal traditions, and a more classic style of cruising. Insider tip: before booking, compare the specific ship, itinerary, cruise length, departure date, and what's actually included in your fare. Those factors often have a bigger impact on your onboard experience and your final bill than the cruise line itself. If the thought of sharing a pool with screaming kids makes you want to stay home, Virgin Voyages removes that concern completely. Every sailing is adults only. No kids clubs, no family activities, and no children anywhere on board. What catches many first-time Virgin guests off guard is that the experience isn't really about being young, it's about being modern. Travelers in their 50s, 60s, and beyond regularly sail with Virgin, but the line works best for people who are comfortable with a more playful and unconventional style. The ships replace many traditional cruise customs with a relaxed contemporary atmosphere that feels closer to a boutique hotel than a classic ocean liner. That philosophy extends to dining. Instead of treating specialty restaurants as paid upgrades, Virgin includes every restaurant in the fare, giving you the freedom to try different venues throughout your cruise without constantly thinking about extra charges. Basic Wi-Fi, group fitness classes, soft drinks, and several other amenities are included. Alcoholic beverages are still purchased separately, but the overall pricing feels much simpler than on many mainstream cruise lines. Entertainment is just as unconventional. Don't expect traditional Broadway-style productions every night. Virgin leans into live music, comedy, immersive performances, cabaret-style shows, and themed events like Scarlet Night. It's different, and that's exactly why some travelers love it. The nice thing is that nobody expects you to participate. If Scarlet Night isn't your thing, you can simply enjoy a quiet dinner or relax in another part of the ship while everyone else is celebrating. One thing to know before booking is that Virgin's pool areas are generally smaller than those on many traditional cruise ships. You'll avoid the family crowds, but you shouldn't expect a massive resort-style pool deck. Choose Virgin if you want a guaranteed adults-only environment, excellent dining, modern design, and a cruise that feels relaxed rather than traditional. You may want to look elsewhere if you enjoy formal nights, classical cruise traditions, large production shows, or a more conservative onboard atmosphere. Virgin's playful sense of humor and unconventional style aren't for everyone. Insider tip: don't overlook the itineraries. Virgin often offers late departures and overnight stays in certain destinations, giving you more time ashore than many comparable cruises. A major advantage if exploring the destination is part of the reason you're cruising. If your idea of the perfect cruise includes dressing for dinner, afternoon tea, and ships that still celebrate the traditions of ocean travel, Cunard deserves a very close look. More than almost any other cruise line, Cunard embraces the heritage of the great ocean liners. It's best known for its transatlantic crossings, where the journey itself becomes the destination. Days at sea aren't filler, they're the point. Traditional afternoon tea is a daily ritual. Ballroom dancing remains part of the onboard culture, and lectures from guest speakers add another layer to the experience. While Cunard has relaxed some of its dress expectations over the years, it still feels noticeably more formal than most mainstream cruise lines. Gala evenings, elegant public spaces, and a slower, more deliberate pace create an atmosphere that's increasingly difficult to find elsewhere. Choose Cunard if you genuinely enjoy dressing for dinner, appreciate maritime traditions, enjoy lectures and ballroom dancing, or simply want a cruise that feels elegant without trying to entertain you every minute of the day. You may want to look elsewhere if you prefer a casual vacation where shorts and t-shirts feel appropriate from morning until night. Or if you're looking for high-energy attractions and flexible resort-style cruising. Insider tip: if you're considering Cunard for the first time, a transatlantic crossing gives you the fullest version of the experience. But only choose it if you genuinely enjoy consecutive sea days. With fewer ports to break up the journey, the lectures, afternoon tea, formal evenings, and onboard social atmosphere become the vacation itself. If you're looking for a traditional cruise without the crowds and complexity of today's megaships, Holland America deserves a serious look. Many people assume it's only for retirees looking for the quietest possible vacation, but the reality is more balanced. Holland America's ships are generally mid-sized rather than floating cities, making them easier to navigate, less overwhelming, and especially appealing for travelers who prefer shorter walking distances or a more relaxed pace. If you've heard that Holland America becomes sleepy after dinner, that's only part of the story. On the newer Pinnacle-class ships, the Music Walk brings several live music venues together in one area, making it easy to move from one performance to another throughout the evening. Events like Orange Night add another burst of energy while celebrating the line's Dutch heritage. That said, Holland America isn't built around giant production shows or non-stop attractions. The entertainment leans more toward live music, cultural programming, and enrichment, which fits the line's slower and more traditional style. The same philosophy carries over into dining and service. The food focuses on classic cruise favorites done well. Many buffet selections are served by the crew, and traditional touches such as complimentary room service help create a calmer, more polished experience. Many repeat guests also appreciate the quiet public spaces where they can read, watch the ocean, or enjoy a drink without competing with constant activities. Holland America can also offer strong overall value, while its have-it-all package may simplify the cost by bundling drinks, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, and shore excursion credit. Just compare the complete package price rather than focusing only on the lowest advertised fare. Choose Holland America if you want manageable ship sizes, excellent live music, attentive service, and a relaxed traditional atmosphere without giving up quality dining or evening entertainment. You may want to look elsewhere if you're looking for water parks, high-energy nightlife every evening, or a guaranteed adults-only environment. Holland America still attracts multi-generational families during school holidays and on popular itineraries such as Alaska. Insider tip: if evening entertainment matters to you, look specifically at a newer Pinnacle-class ship. Older ships still offer the same classic Holland America experience, but without the same centralized live music venues. If you see a cruise as a way to explore fascinating places, not as a floating resort, Viking was built with exactly that mindset. Across its ocean fleet, Viking is adults only, and nearly every part of the experience is designed to keep the focus on the destination rather than onboard distractions. Instead of casinos, water slides, or high-energy attractions, you'll find destination lectures, cultural enrichment, and one included shore excursion in every port. Even the clean Scandinavian design reflects that quieter, more thoughtful approach to travel. The pricing follows the same philosophy. Viking generally costs more upfront than a mainstream cruise, but it includes many extras that other lines charge separately for, including Wi-Fi, one shore excursion in every port, and beer, wine, and soft drinks with onboard lunch and dinner. One of the biggest reasons people become loyal Viking guests is that once they're on board, they rarely feel like they're constantly being asked to spend more money. Choose Viking if you're passionate about history, culture, and destination-focused travel, and you don't need casinos, elaborate production shows, or a busy nightlife to enjoy your vacation. You may want to consider another cruise line if the ship itself is your main source of entertainment, if you're looking for a more energetic atmosphere during sea days, or if keeping the initial cruise fare as low as possible is your priority. Insider tip: review your shore excursion options as soon as your booking window opens. While one excursion is included in every port, optional premium experiences can fill quickly on popular itineraries. If you prefer contemporary luxury over traditional cruising, Celebrity Cruises is one of the strongest choices in the premium market, especially on its newer Edge-class ships. Rather than leaning into classic nautical themes, Celebrity embraces a clean, modern style that feels closer to a high-end hotel than a traditional ocean liner. The public spaces are bright, open, and intentionally designed to create an upscale atmosphere without feeling overly formal. That modern philosophy extends throughout the ship. Venues like the Martini Bar become lively social hubs in the evening, while many ships also feature an adults-only solarium where you can relax away from the busiest pool areas. The entertainment includes polished production shows, guest performers, and popular events like the Silent Disco. It's upscale without feeling stuffy, although the busiest areas on Edge-class ships can feel loud at night. Before booking, there's one feature you'll definitely want to understand: Celebrity's infinite veranda. Instead of a traditional step-out balcony, these cabins use a floor-to-ceiling window that opens, extending the living space inside the cabin. Some guests love the extra room, while others miss having a true outdoor balcony. Food is another major strength. The main dining rooms are consistently well regarded, the buffet receives frequent praise for quality and variety, and the specialty restaurants are excellent if you're willing to pay extra. Just keep in mind that onboard extras, including specialty dining, often cost more than you'll typically find on Princess or Holland America. The service is polished and accommodating, although it can feel slightly less personal than the warmer, more traditional style found on some competing lines. Celebrity also offers some enrichment, but it isn't as destination-focused as Viking or as traditional as Cunard. Choose Celebrity if you appreciate modern design, outstanding food, polished entertainment, and a premium experience that still feels vibrant. You may want to consider another cruise line if you prefer classic cruise traditions, quieter evenings, a warmer old-world atmosphere, or more extras included in the fare. Insider tip: if the infinite veranda doesn't appeal to you, or you want a slightly quieter atmosphere, don't rule out Celebrity entirely. The older Solstice-class ships still offer traditional open-air balconies while delivering the same polished Celebrity experience. Each of these cruise lines has a clear personality, but what if you're still not sure which one matches yours? That's where Princess Cruises stands out. Rather than specializing in one particular type of traveler, Princess delivers one of the most balanced experiences in cruising. The atmosphere is livelier than Holland America, especially around the piazza, where live music, dancing, games, and audience participation create plenty of energy without feeling overwhelming or overly rowdy. Entertainment is another strength, with polished production shows and guest performers that may include singers, mentalists, and acrobats. Dining also offers plenty of variety, from casual options to main dining rooms and specialty restaurants. And even the complimentary poolside pizza has earned an almost legendary reputation among repeat cruisers. While some longtime guests feel a few dishes aren't quite as consistent as they once were, the overall dining experience remains one of Princess's biggest strengths. But the feature that truly sets Princess apart isn't the food, it's the medallion. Instead of constantly reaching for a cruise card, your cabin door unlocks automatically as you approach, boarding the ship becomes quicker, purchases are seamless and particularly useful for couples or families. You can easily see where your travel companion is on board. Princess also offers excellent overall value. Packages like Princess Plus and Princess Premier bundle many of the extras travelers typically purchase anyway, such as drinks, Wi-Fi, and daily crew gratuities, making the total vacation cost easier to plan. Many Princess ships also feature self-service laundry facilities, a surprisingly valuable perk on longer cruises. Princess also offers an enormous variety of itineraries, making it easy to find a cruise that fits both your travel style and your schedule. If you're looking for one very specific type of cruise, another line on this list may suit you better. But if you want a cruise that balances dining, entertainment, technology, atmosphere, and value exceptionally well, Princess is one of the easiest recommendations to make. Insider tip: some older Princess ships feel noticeably more dated than the newest ones, and standard balcony cabins don't always include a sofa. Before booking, compare both the specific ship and your cabin category, not just the itinerary. Before we move on, there are two cruise lines that deserve a quick mention. Royal Caribbean is often overlooked by travelers over 50 because most of its advertising focuses on giant ships, water slides, and family vacations. But that doesn't tell the whole story. On older ships, particularly the Radiance class, and on longer itineraries like Alaska, the Panama Canal, or Canada and New England, the onboard atmosphere can feel very different from what many people expect. Before ruling Royal Caribbean out, look at the specific ship, itinerary, sailing length, and departure date, not just the brand. If exceptional food is your highest priority, Oceania deserves a serious look. It's widely recognized for its culinary program, attentive service, and destination-focused itineraries. It isn't part of the main list because its pricing places it closer to the luxury segment, making it a much more specialized recommendation than the cruise lines we've covered. But if your budget allows, it's absolutely worth researching. Whichever cruise line you end up choosing, there's one last thing you need to know. Even if you choose the right cruise line, these 3 mistakes can still ruin your vacation. Mistake number 1, booking based on the advertised fare. The cheapest cruise isn't always the cheapest vacation. Once you add Wi-Fi, gratuities, drinks, and other extras, a slightly more expensive fare with more inclusions can end up costing less overall. Compare the total vacation cost, not just the headline price. Mistake number 2, assuming adults only means quiet. Virgin and Viking are both adults only, but they couldn't feel more different. One offers a lively modern atmosphere, while the other focuses on destination enrichment and a much calmer pace. Don't judge a cruise by its age policy alone. The onboard culture matters far more. Mistake number 3, choosing the newest ship instead of the right sailing. Cruise lines naturally promote their newest ships, but newer isn't automatically better. The ship, itinerary, cruise length, and sailing date can completely change your experience. An older ship on the right itinerary may end up being a much better fit than the newest megaship in the fleet. And that's really the biggest takeaway from this entire video. The best cruise line isn't the one with the biggest ship, the newest technology, or the lowest price. It's the one that matches the kind of vacation you actually want. Now, I'd love to hear from you. After watching this video, which cruise line are you leaning toward, and why? And if you've already cruised, which one surprised you the most? Share your experience in the comments below. Want more cruise tips? Check out the video on your screen for more cruise advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.